After Mario finished one of his many adventures, he returned to the Mushroom Kingdom. He wanted to relax a little bit inside Peach's castle, but as he went inside, he saw something that was a little out of the ordinary. There was a secret pipe in the corner of the room, and it just so happened to lead to this new painting. He jumped inside and was dropped into the place he explored over 25 years ago, Bomb-omb Battlefield. It was time to collect everything here once again. First up, right by the start, he kicked this rock and saw that it started glowing, so he kept moving it around this area, and eventually it broke open and revealed the first star of this area. But now it was time to get into the real stuff, so he traveled across the bridge and made his way around the Goombas. Once up here, he saw a purple coin on top of this rock. Remembering that those might be useful, he picked it up, and also found a second one on top of the Chain Chomp's pole, but this particular Chain Chomp looked familiar. And of course, there was a star behind the gate right by it, so of course the only logical thing to do would be to capture the Chain Chomp and break down that wall to reveal the second star. That one had a lot of memories in it. As he moved on in the level, he found purple coins 3 and 4 in this area, and also went up the steps to find a full-blown star right here where the cannon used to be. And that thing wasn't the only surprise he would get, because through the gate there just so happened to be a Goomba switch, and he needed quite a lot of them, so he ran all the way back to the start of the level and captured one. And thankfully there happened to be a lot of them in the areas he had already visited, so he stacked all of them up, brought them over to the switch, and stomped right on it for star number 4. After collecting that, he saw another purple coin on this hill. Now there seemed to be a little change in physics because Mario could not go up the slope so easily this time, but utilizing Cappy, he still jumped up to it no problem. Then he just had to make his way all the way to the summit. There were a ton of giant Bowser bombs being rolled at him though. A lot of fast movement was needed to dodge all of these, but he eventually found his rhythm and made it all the way to the top. And there was a battle with 3 tanks up here, but of course they were all really easy to take out, so there was another star collected. And now the only part of this land that he hadn't really explored yet was the floating island, so he tried to jump off the top of the mountain to get a better view of it, and even though he fell just short of making it on there, it actually kind of worked out because he saw this purple coin on top of the platforms that he had missed before, and also found the slingshot, which is how he was actually able to get on top of the island. There was quite a lot of stuff up here that was useful. The 7th purple coin on top of this tree, another star inside of this chest, and of course Glide-on. And by jumping off this island with him, Mario could soar through all 5 golden rings and make the next star appear at the bottom. So those stars were all really cool, and since Mario had been reminded of the entire level, he thought it was time for this star. So Mario threw his hat on the scarecrow at the start, and a star appeared all the way at the top. And now he just had to run and jump his way through everything very quickly. Some parts were a little awkward to say the least, and getting past all these bombs on the mountain once again was pretty difficult, especially this time since Cappy wasn't able to help. And also, none of the usual shortcuts like wall jumping or teleporting could be done to save time. But that didn't matter. He jumped and dived his way around the entire thing, and got all the way up to the star with time to spare. With that done, he had almost completed everything. He went all the way back down and found the last purple coin behind this gate, and wouldn't you guess it, another star appeared. That was now 9 collected, and he just had 1 more to grab. He was a little confused on what that would be though, because all of the familiar stars had already been grabbed. This was probably going to be something else that he had never seen before. Well, he ran around the entire place for a little while, but eventually stumbled upon the ground pound spot right under the bridge. There was that 10th and final star. So Bomb-omb Battlefield had been conquered once again, and what a joy it was to see. And now that this custom kingdom had been completed, he now had to complete a custom Bowser level. Yeah, already this place looked a lot more intense. Mario started out by crossing these platforms over the lava, but he was also doing his best to search around the area. And as he made his way up the flower, he saw this. There just so happened to be a place for him to land behind this wall, and there was a nice P-switch that raised up these platforms and allowed him to find a moon shard. So it became clear that's what he was looking for as he made his way through this place. So next, he got on the platform with arrows and directed it to move up the lava hill. There were some geysers and quite a few fuzzies to watch out for here. And as he made his way up, up, he kinda got blindsided by this fireball. Just for getting burned, Mario climbed up these platforms and captured that fire bro. But then of course he decided to light up the torches on this platform, and good thing he did, because that gifted him the second moon shard. He then got back on the platform and rode it all the way up, only to find this giant wall behind him. It seemed very clear that he had to climb this thing, right? And thankfully the return of the thwomp allowed him to do just that. It went up just high enough for Mario to get up there and grab the third shard. Then after making his way back down, he got rid of a couple fire piranha plants, and then had to utilize this weird rotating contraption. Also, jumping between these platforms to move it over is pretty hard when there's a Knuckletex statue in the back trying to blow you off. I don't know if that thing is actually alive, but it's still scary. But he made his way across just fine, jumped across a couple of gears to get over more lava, and captured a Pokio, which would be used to get past a wall of lava. And yeah, using the Pokio like this can be pretty difficult if you basically can't touch anything else around you. Some parts were a little weird, especially because of the horizontal aspect, but he got up to this platform, did a couple of fancy jumps with the Pokio over this way, and stood right on this symbol, which turned green and then revealed the fourth shard. Then it was just a matter of climbing a little bit more with this guy, and Mario had almost reached the highest point. Once he made his way up here, he found a tank, and it just so happens there were a few targets on the wall that definitely had to be taken down, so those three all got shot away, and then this happened. The final area had revealed itself, but Mario still needed one more shard, and he was a little confused on where to find it because he was sure that he didn't miss anything, and maybe this one was just a lot more secretive. After looking around for a little bit, he dropped in front of this platform and saw the final moon shard behind the bars. But how was he gonna get in there? Well, turns out he could ground pound this weird platform to go all the way down. Right above the lava was the last thing that Mario needed to spawn the moon. So his adventure through this level had been complete, and now with everyone cheering him on, it was time to launch himself over to the final arena and take on Bowser. Even if it was kind of a final boss, it looked pretty familiar to him. Mario just had to throw Cappy at Bowser's hat to steal it from him and punch him away. Yeah, we've all seen this before. However, some things here just did not feel quite right. Cappy would sometimes just go right through Bowser's hat, even though it looked like it should have been hit, so then Mario just ended up getting punched away. There was just something off about it, and because of that, Mario did have to attempt this a lot of times. The fast strats weren't even working right, but of course, after a few attempts, Mario got a strategy. Basically, Cappy just needed to be thrown at the hats a little bit sooner than it would look like. Mario did still suffer a few punches, but after a lot of tries, he was finally able to claim the hat on the second phase and get a hit on Bowser. Now he just had to do the last phase with only one hit point left, and with one very lucky throw of his hat, he put this thing on one more time and punched Bowser all the way back into his ship and into the wall of lava, and Mario grabbed the multi-moon to conclude this story. I really hope you enjoyed both of these stages, and here are the creators for both of them. Links down below if you want to check them out, and that's all I got. So with that, thank you all so much for watching. Take care, everyone, and I will see you next time.